Today here in studio, we're honored to have a guest who's in the business that could help all of us. And sadly, she can help us in ways that we don't even realize that we need help. And that's the type of members we love to have here at the Chamber. Her name is Esther Scott. Her company's name is Positive Actions International. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you being here. So the first thing I want to get to is your business. You started a business in 2020. That was a little odd time to start a business, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, Positive Actions International came from the fact that we can talk for years and we will see progress, but we only see results or change when we take action. So that was the idea. In 2020, we know what kind of year it was. It was something that kind of paralyzed the whole world, and we're looking at what actions we can take. So I have been in the business. I have a double degree in business administration and counseling, but I was always in the business side of counseling. And then when 2020 came, it's like, I'm going in. So I'm going to go hands-on. And so I opened my private practice.
Well, it made sense because sadly at that time we needed more people getting off of the business side of things and jumping in. So you talked a little bit about your background, how you got into that, and then you decided to start your business. Talk about some of the services that you offer, the types of things you can offer to people.
Yes, and one of the things that we try to do is kind of to bridge the mental health with the business world. And what happens that they go hand in hand. But a lot of times we don't know how to connect them. And one of the things that we try to do for organizations is to offer, listening skills for managers, supervisors, and CEOs, because we're good at our business, but sometimes we're not good at listening. And so this is a skill that we have been trained as psychologists, as counselors, and we can pass that on so that when somebody feels that they are being heard, it changes the conversation. And I always said, listen with your eyes. And this is a quick technique that organizations, or especially managers and CEO, can use immediately. We also talk about work-life balance. And there's a lot of terms that we use in psychology that is being taken out of the office and is being misapplied. So most people think that balance means equal. But in reality, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we know that balance is not equal. The business is always going to take more from us, more of our time than what we have for personal. So it's just finding that balance and what does it mean? And it means intentionality. So that's what we try to do for employees, for organizations, so that they can be successful.
And so far, so good.
Yes, 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 keeping the balance.
Well, you work, and we were talking before we got in studio today, in a variety of different techniques. Maybe that's not the right word, correct me if it's not. But one of the things that you like to use is a solutions-focused approach.
Yes.
What does that mean?
And what this is that we look at the problem, and we know that in the problem is the solution. And when I'm working, whether it's with couples, with family, or with business organizations, we always say, what is the complaint? And when we hear the complaint, the solution is in there because the complaint has the antidote. And so when we talk about a solution-focused approach, we're looking at what's the problem, what can we do, and how do we do it? When we answer all those three questions, we see that things start flowing because the brain is designed to give you what you need. The brain is designed to protect you and to help you achieve. That's what I tell my clients all the time. Is like your brain is the most important asset that you have, and it's going to give you whatever you ask. A lot of people say, oh, why is it so hard for me to lose weight? And if you ask the brain that question, the brain is going to come back and it's going to say, well, because you are not eating healthy, because you are overeating, because you are not exercising. What are you going to do with that list? Absolutely nothing except to feel bad about yourself. But if you ask the brain, what can I do to lose weight? What can I do so that I do not gain this way? Then the brain is going to say, well, you could exercise, you could do. It's going to give you a list that is proactive, a list of positive actions. And that's what we want, positive actions.
That's the name of the company.
That's the name of the company. Yes.
I'm catching on now. I'm catching on to this. So there's a lot of people that offer counseling and stuff, and everybody has a different approach, technique, whatever. What do you feel are a couple of the things that sets you apart from others in your profession?
Yeah, I think that my business training and the psychology training provides like a unique combination where we're going to go with a time frame in mind. We have a structure that says this is what we're going to be doing. In psychology, we have 125 theory. And I always tell people, even though that sounds like a lot, what works for you may not work for him. So it's okay to have this many. But you want to find the one that works for you. And my favorite are always solution-focused, narrative therapy, and cognitive behavioral. Why? Because they're structured. They allow your brain to see. We start with the end in mind. And when you start with the end in mind, you know what you want. Where do you want to be? What does it take to be there? Even if you have a number for your business, you want to grow this percentage, or you want to have this much money, or this many employees. When you know what that is, now your brain that is designed to help you is going to show you what you need to do to get there, what positive actions you need to take to get there. So I think that what makes us, or makes us set aside or apart, is the fact that we have a goal in mind, the goal that the clients propose. And now we're going to say, how are we going to make it happen? What is it? What do you want? What can we do about it? And how are we going to do it? That's the important question.
Okay, I can accept that. I actually understood that. So that says a lot for me for a change. Okay, so let me ask you this, Esther. I've heard you speak a lot of times, and you always bring up something to me I find very interesting. So many people confuse mental health with mental illness. Could you go into that just a little bit about the misperceptions out there?
Absolutely. And mental health means it's our ability to respond to everyday situations. We're all going to have stress. We're all going to have situations at home. We're all going to have our heart broken, relationships that didn't work. All of us are going to face that in life. Even in the Christian community says, in this world, you're going to have problems, which means that's an expectation. So mental health is your ability to respond to that. So what is mental health? You go for a checkup, a well-visit checkup, because you want to handle stress. Stress, if it's not attended, turns into anxiety. Anxiety, if it's not attended, turns into panic attacks. Panic attack, if it's not attended, turns into a nervous breakdown. So now your brain and your mind is suffering unnecessarily. My favorite way to explain mental health and mental illness is through the car analogy. What does that mean? I know nothing about cars, by the way. My husband takes care of everything. I just put the keys and go. In fact, push a button and go. But what is it? The car is designed to let you know when you don't have your seatbelt, it starts making a noise, ding, 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 because it's designed to do that. If you have a door open, it's going to tell you. If you need an oil change, it's going to come the light. If you are low in fuel, it's going to let you know. Well, we have that system too. The car is not dinging because it doesn't work. It would be a mistake if it's a stupid car is making that noise. No, the car is designed to make that noise. We have a system too, which is the emotional system that is designed to let us know when we need to take action. When you have low fuel and you say, oh gosh, I don't have time right now, I got to go to this meeting, which happens to a lot of us, you're going to go. But eventually, what's going to happen? Your car is going to stop in the middle of the road because there's no more gas, or your engine is going to break because there's no oil to make it run smoothly. So you got to take care of that before it happens. An oil change is about $50 and 5 minutes. If you had to change the engine, it's about 5 days and 5,000, something like that, right? So we want to take care of that. That's mental health. What is mental illness? When you didn't put oil and now the engine is broken and now you have to call a tow truck to come take this and take it to the workshop, which is going to take about 10, 15 days. And it's going to be about 5,000 or more, 10,000, depending on what kind of car you have. Now we're in the mental illness. You can still repair, but it's going to be a lot of time. It's going to be a lot of money. If you have a nervous breakdown, you're going to have to go to the hospital. They're going to have you for about 7 to 10 days in observation with just medication to then start treating it. So we don't want to get to mental illness. We want to be in the mental health. And mental health means I'm taking care of my stress, because we're all going to have stress. All I need to know is the tools to manage it. We're all going to have a heartbroken. I just need to know, how do I continue my life when my dreams that I thought I was going to spend my whole life with this person now has to change? How do we do it? How do I get there? And we can do that. I always recommend, and I know that this is a very long answer, but I always say, don't wait for a crisis. Do it now. When you are just exploring, is this good for me? Is this a good match? Is this a good approach? Is that a good person? Find it now. If not for you, for your friends. If not for you, for your family. If not for now, for when it happens. It's just preparation to maintain your health, because your mind is too precious to not attend it.
Do you find when you're talking to people that they almost get a sense of relief when they realize that the things that are happening to them happen to other people? That so many times we think, oh my gosh, I'm the only one going through this. This is really bad. But then there's a light bulb that goes off and you let them know, no, this happens to other people. And here's how. Is that in its own way kind of a stress relief?
Yes. That's the first thing. When they come to my office, that's the first thing I said to them. I said, starting today, you're going to feel better. Not because there was any magic here. In fact, the people that are listening to us right now are going to start feeling better. Not because we're doing any magic, but because the brain is gaining information that is helping it organize. So yes, they feel better when they know, oh my gosh, I thought it was only me. And why do they think that? Because we don't talk about it. Because nobody wants to say that, because we don't want to look like we don't have it all together. But it doesn't mean you don't have it all together. It means that it's designed. When you're experiencing anxiety or stress or depression or any of that, it's a natural reaction to the environment. And it's being fed by what your brain is receiving, what information is receiving the brain. How does the brain work? A thought produces a feeling. The feeling produces a reaction, and that reaction has a consequence. A thought, oh, nobody's going to like me. I don't go to the chamber meeting because I don't know anybody. Plus, they're not going to like me because I'm short, because I'm tall, because I'm brown, because I whatever. I'm going to say that. So when I go there, now I'm hesitant, and now that feeling is going to produce fear or embarrassment or whatever it may be. So now that's going to have a consequence. I don't talk to anybody. So I'm in a corner. People see me and they think that I'm either busy or don't want to engage. So the consequence is I'm lonely. So I don't come back. It all started with the thought that I thought they don't like me because I'm a female, because I'm brown, because I'm tall, for whatever reason. That thought is inaccurate. In fact, our brain has to deal with between 6,000 to 8,000 thoughts per day. That is about 2,500 thoughts per day, per hour. So, but what we know is that 95% of those thoughts are repetitive, and 75% of those thoughts are negative. So which means that all of that doesn't count, but when we say it out loud, then we can gain perspective, and now we find relief and we feel free. No, come on, there's more people that are brown. There's more people that are female. There's more people. And so now I'm like, oh, I'm glad to know. And that's the relief that they find. But if we don't talk about it, then we're carrying a weight that isn't necessary, and we are kind of leading ourselves into mental illness unnecessarily. So what I recommend, every 6 months to a year, go for a kind of a world check.
A checkup.
A checkup.
It's like you take your car and pay me now or pay me later.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm running out of time, but I got to ask you something real quick. You are a very active member in the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce. You and your company have been members for some time. And I'm just curious, what has the Chamber done to help you both professionally and personally since you've been a member?
Absolutely. And I think that most members can speak for this, and it's connections. Connections is one of the most essential things. In fact, human beings were designed to be in connection. We don't do well when we are alone, whether that is in business or personally. We need connection. In the Chamber, one of the things that we said is that together we succeed. And I have found that, especially at the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, that is a reality. We come together, we help one another. I have been in contact with people that otherwise I would not have met. And I have been able to participate not only at the chamber level, but also at the city level in different ways, because you have access to so many great minds and so many great people, all the way from the mayor to the one that is just starting. I just met somebody today that is thinking about starting a business, and we have this kind of connection. So I think that one of the greatest things that the Chamber has done for me is connect us to one another.
Well, Esther, I'm going to stop you right there. I could listen to you talk forever, but I really appreciate you being here. I really, really appreciate you and your business and what you're there, the people you already work with and the people who you will work with, because you're out there. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, folks. Hey, that's Esther Skype. You heard her. She gets it. Together we succeed. We hope you get it as well. We appreciate you being with us. We'll see you next time.